Ooh, let's go, Commanders fans, and happy Friday. We got some news. There's some more updates too, man. Jonathan Allen just got released, and so that's the news for us. Harold Landry, the pass rusher from the Titans, he just got released, and I was talking about trading for him last week, possibly doing that, but he just got released. I think Cooper Kupp should be released pretty soon. I'm not really, set on getting Cooper Kupp, but that's just another guy that's probably gonna be released. Evan Ingram from the Jaguars got released. I was not expecting that. The Jaguars have traded away Christian Kirk. Now they release Evan Ingram. I am very interested in Evan Ingram. I'm very intrigued in Evan Ingram. I would like to see Evan Ingram in the Commanders. I think he would be a great receiving option, a great receiving tight end option for Jaden Daniels. I think he would be. We talk about yak on this team and yards after the catch and making something happen after the catch, especially at the tight end position. And you could possibly keep Zach Ertz. Now I'm getting off topic here. Let's focus. Let's stay focused on Jonathan Allen here. So Jonathan Allen, we knew this was going to happen. They tried to trade him, but nobody was willing to give up any picks. There was really no market for him. Not even like a 7th-round pick or a 6th-round pick. We traded a 7th-round pick for a kicker, so even kickers had more value than Jonathan Allen. Trade value, and I thought maybe they would have tried to do a John Ridgeway type of trade where they attach a pick to him, like a 6th-round pick, or attach a 7th-round pick to Jonathan Allen and get a 6th-round pick in return. Or there was even reports of him being involved in the trade for Debo, but the Niners turned it down. Some other reports like that. So, or even trying to throw him in a trade for Trey Hendrickson possibly, but that's just not going to happen. But Jonathan Allen, he's a good player. He's not a bad player. Like, he's going to help another team for sure. He had some good seasons here. And he was one of the 1st-round picks on the defensive line where we had Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, all first-round picks on that defensive line. And they just didn't live up to the hype. Now, they had good moments. For sure. They had good spurts for sure. But they just never could really reach their full potential for whatever reason. Jonathan Allen did make 2 Pro Bowls. He was a top 100 player while he was here a couple seasons. He had, how many sacks? He had a season where he had a good amount of sacks. He had 8 sacks in 2018, 6 sacks in 2019, 9 sacks in 2021, 7.5 sacks in 2022, 5.5 sacks in 2023, and then 3 sacks this past season. He had the torn pectoral muscle, and then he came back in the playoffs and played pretty well. He had a good game against the Lions. Didn't do too much against the Eagles because, we just struggled against the Eagles in that game. And then, did he play in the Buccaneers? I think he played in the Buccaneers game, but he was very impactful in the Lions game. Didn't get a sack, but he had pressures and had a really good pass rush win rate percentage in that game. He will always go down to history for the rants after the game where he had the do-rag and the glasses on and talking about he's just fed up with the losing or whatnot. He would have one of those every other game or at least 2 or 3 of those each season. He was there for the unveiling the name of the Commanders. It was him, Doug Williams, and I think somebody else. I think it was really just Jonathan Allen and Doug Williams who were there being interviewed to unveil the name. And he was here when we were the Skins. So he's been here for the Skins, the football team, the Commanders. I'm very happy that he got to participate in the playoffs. He went to the playoffs in 2020 when we were 7-9 and we lost to Tom Brady, but he got to see a playoff win. He got to see 2 playoff wins, which I'm happy for him because he's just used to winning, being with Alabama. He just has that winning mindset. So I do respect that. I did respect him as a leader, as a captain. Other guys stepped up as captains like Frankie Louvu, Terry, Bobby Wagner. Other guys kind of phased him out of that captain role, and then he just wasn't available for majority of the season. So, but yeah, all in all, man, I'm a Jonathan Allen fan. I like the player. I like his mindset, his personality. He's gonna help another team for sure. I just wish we could have got something in return for Jonathan Allen, but it is what it is. Of course, when he punched Deron Payne, they got in that fight on the sidelines, but they're still brothers. They still get along and whatnot, and so I do remember that happening. But Jonathan Allen, he's a good player, man. He's a darn good player, and top 100 player, 2-time Pro Bowler, all that good stuff. The last couple seasons per PFF, he had some down seasons, but like I said, you can't use PFF as a super measuring stick, but it kind of showed that, he did go down a little bit in his production. Also, wrapping up and finishing plays, sometimes he struggles with that, like Baker Mayfield, the Tampa Bay game. He had at least 2 or 3 missed tackles on Baker Mayfield. So he did struggle with that at times, just finishing plays. But as a salary cap move, we clear. So Spot Rack tweeted out the release of defensive lineman Jonathan Allen leaves behind $6 million of dead cap space, creating $16.35 million of space for the Commanders, which is really good. Who now hold a league runner-up of $95 million of top 51 space. So we'll see what that. And other people are saying that we have $80 million in cap space right now. So Spot Rack says 95. Other people are saying $80 million in cap space. Either way, we have a lot of money. We have a lot of funds to make something happen, make something shake for sure, and sign some very impactful players, which I'm excited, man. And we don't have to wait until Monday. There's some guys that are available. Evan Ingram, Harold Landry. There's some guys that have just been released that are available that we can go and pick up and make a move and re-sign our own guys. We've only re-signed Bobby Wagner and Zane Gonzalez at the moment. So we have cap space, but we do have a need at defensive tackle. Osa from the Cowboys got re-signed. So are we going to use a draft pick, use draft capital, which we don't have a lot of picks that we have to use on a defensive tackle now, or sign a defensive tackle, a free agent like possibly Milton Williams? We'll see. Do they want to spend that much on the defensive tackle position? But we have to find a space eater at the defensive tackle position that can slow down the run. We have to get better slowing down the run. I'm not going to say stop the run because that hasn't been our forte, but at least slowing down the run game, making it tough for opponents to run the ball, because we were still winning games with giving up 100 yards on the ground to just one running back. Like James Conner had 100 yards rushing against us, and we still won. Saquon had 150 yards against us, and we still beat them. DeAndre Swift had like 90-something rushing yards. We still beat them. But Bucky Irvin has 70. B. John Robinson had like 100 rushing yards. We still beat them on Sunday Night Football. Rico Dowdle had good games against us. Like, you didn't have to be an elite running back. Tyrone Tracy had a good game against us. You didn't have to be Devin Singletary had a good game against us. We still beat the Giants. You didn't have to be an elite. The Bengals, we gave up a bunch of rushing yards in that game too. We still beat them on Monday Night Football as well. So you didn't have to be like a top tier running back to have a good game against us. And we still found ways to beat other teams when they had a bunch of rushing yards against us. So, but yeah, so defensive tackle is a need. So, you know, I wish Jonathan Allen the best. I know he went on the radio show on 106.7 and said that he did think about requesting a trade, but that was last year, and then we started winning, and, you know, he wanted to stay, and then he requested a trade or had permission to request or to seek a trade after, you know, Adam Peters just didn't want to pay the money to Jonathan Allen, which I totally understand. So, all right, guys, let's move on to Trey Hendrickson here from the Bengals. So the draft compensation from per John Jones, J Jones 9 on Twitter. Jonathan Jones, he's a lead NFL insider for NFL on CBS. He says that the draft the compensation for him would be a late second round pick or an early third round pick, and that is awesome. Because yesterday I said potentially a first round pick. If you only have to give up a late second round pick or an early third round pick, that would be great, man. We have 1 third round pick, and that's the pick that we got for Jahan Dotson, I believe, which is from the Dolphins. And if you just have to give up a third round pick for Trey Hendrickson and pay him, then I'm all aboard on that, because you're not going to get most likely you're not going to get a third round pick that is better than Trey Hendrickson. Like last year we drafted Luke McCaffrey. Would you trade Luke McCaffrey for Trey Hendrickson any day of the week? Any day of the week I would make that move. No knock to Luke McCaffrey, but if you can just trade a third round pick for Trey Hendrickson, that would be an awesome move. The only thing I'm concerned about is that Myles Garrett eventually becomes available, and we made a move too early. And it's like, now we don't want to trade our first round pick for Myles Garrett. Kind of similar to Deebo Samuel and DK Metcalf. Is like, you know, you already made a trade for a receiver. Do you want to make another trade for another receiver? And let's say you trade for Trey Hendrickson, you trade that third round pick. Do you want to make another trade for a defensive end, for a pass rusher, Myles Garrett? So those are the question marks that come with me. But Trey Hendrickson, if he's available and he's going for a third round pick, you got to make that move. That's a move you got to make, because you're going to make the defense better. You're going to make your pass rush better. You're going to make it easier for your cornerbacks. So all around, the defense is going to improve. 17.5 sacks, 2 seasons in a row. And you can get that for a third round pick or a late second round pick potentially, which is what we have, a late second round pick, because we're going to draft basically the 29th pick in each round because we made the NFC Championship. So, hey, you got to make that call, which I think Adam Peters already has made the call, has already contacted the Bengals about Trey Hendrickson, according to Jordan Schultz. So you guys let me know what you guys think. As always, second round pick or third round pick for Trey Hendrickson, man, that's a move you definitely got to consider and make for sure. All right, you guys, as always, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend. I can't wait for free agency. I got a feeling we're going to make some moves possibly over the weekend, but I can't wait for it's either Monday or Tuesday, I believe, which is another tampering period for sure. But man, I can't wait. I can't wait for free agency. All right, guys, enjoy your weekend. Hell, Commanders. Peace.